YouTube was down with it. It's your boy Ozell. In this video, we got George Kambosos exposes undisputed negotiations with Devin Haney. If you haven't been on social media, well, Kambosos exposed this when a fan asked him a question, and he let that be known that these guys been in negotiation talks about Undisputed because unlike Teofimo Lopez, who was caught on video recorded by Champside saying that he purposely wanted to not fight Devin Haney. He said, "You don't know, but we do." But him and Teofimo are gonna fight for. Teofimo and Loma are gonna fight for undisputed after he beats Kambosos, or that's what Teofimo thought. He didn't want to give Devin an opportunity, but God just has a way of doing things. God has a way of messing up the plans of the devil. And that was a devilish plan to short a man an opportunity purposely, not like. But when Teofimo lost to Kambosos, history was rewritten. Teofimo planned to not give Devin Haney an opportunity. Teofimo planned to beat Kambosos, fight Loma for undisputed, and walk into the sunset or move up and not fight anybody else. But he lost to Kambosos, and Kambosos and Devin Haney had been discussing fighting for undisputed afterwards. So it just goes to show that it doesn't pay off to be evil in this world, because karma is a bad bitch. Karma what? Karma a bad bitch. And then we got all these fanboys and some haters and some goofballs saying, "Oh, Devin Haney's the email champion." He's not a draw. There's only 2 to 3 people in boxing that are a bigger draw than Devin Haney, being Canelo Alvarez, Tank Davis, and Ryan Garcia. Maybe Inoue in Japan. There's not a lot of people that's a bigger draw than Devin Haney. But for some reason, people think Devin Haney not a big draw. Because of what? Because of his fighting style. Floyd Mayweather was the biggest draw in boxing history, and he fought a similar fighting style to Devin Haney, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, people call Devin Haney an email champion, but they don't understand that as soon as Devin Haney became Loma's mandatory, there was a new belt created by the WBC called the franchise champion. Ask Mauricio Silliman. And when you ask Mauricio Silliman, you will find that yes, they created this franchise belt that was not able to be passed on by a loss of defeat. It was just to quote unquote celebrate achievement. Well, that was interesting, and I'm gonna come back to that because the franchise belt that Loma got made him invulnerable. Mandatories wasn't necessary. He can avoid mandatories by becoming that champion. And if you watch boxing, you know that if in most commissions or with most belts, if you don't fight your mandatory, then you're stripped of that belt and the belt is given to the mandatory. We'll see that in turn. We'll see Boots when the IBF belt was stripped from Terrence and given to Boots. We'll see Devin Haney just vacated his belt because he's not going to be defending it. And it goes on and on and on. When Devin vacated those belts, Shakur was given a belt. Tank was given a belt by email. A lot of people were emailed a belt, but nobody batted an eye to it because the narrative is not about the belt. If you haven't understood that by now, then you understand it now. The narrative isn't about the belt. The narrative is just to discredit Devin Haney. That's the secret. They don't give a fuck about the email champion, because if they did, they would ridicule Tank all day for being the email champ. They would ridicule Shakur all day. And they ridicule these email champs, but they don't ridicule the guy who gave up the belts. You see, Loma refused to fight his mandatory and gave up all the belt and gave his belt up to Devin Haney. But Devin Haney got discredited from that. But they never said, "Loma, why you ducking Devin Haney?" They just said, "Oh, you're an email champ." So it's a narrative building. It's always a narrative. And that's why this all wraps up. And the fact that Kambosos George Kambosos gave Devin Haney an opportunity after he upset Teofimo Lopez. George Kambosos and Devin Haney were in negotiations way before the fight and agreed that if Kambosos won, Devin would get that opportunity. Devin went to Australia and took a 22% cut, fought and beat Kambosos 12-0 twice in a row, and a rematch clause. After Devin Haney beat George Kambosos, people still discredited him. So he fought his mandatory, Vasily Lomachenko. Man, this is history, bro. And when he fights Vasily Lomachenko, and it's a close fight, Lomachenko had a few rounds where he won convincingly, but he only had 2 rounds he won convincingly, which were 10 and 11. Devin Haney won at least 7 rounds convincingly. But the race and the man fans, they don't watch boxing. They watch to push narratives. Instead of admitting that Devin Haney won the first 6 to 7 rounds and closed out in round 12, they'll say, no, he lost the fight. He lost the fight. Come on, man. Too little, too late. But these same guys will praise Tyson Fury for quote-unquote outboxing Deontay Wilder, which is why I think it's biased. Boxing is biased, and we all know this. They will praise Tyson Fury. They will say he won all the rounds, even though Deontay knocked him out in the middle of the ring. But Deontay taunted him, so he got extra time, and I understand that. But they will praise Tyson Fury for quote unquote outboxing Deontay all the other rounds. But Deontay almost killed him in the middle of the ring. Lomachenko got off a little bit on Devin Haney. But Devin Haney won most of the rounds. But they can't accept that logic. And they'll say it's different. It's different. Which is hilarious, man. I'm just glad Kambosos gave Devin an opportunity, because no one else would do it. And Devin Haney took full advantage of that opportunity without his father and his trainer in his corner. His father couldn't even be in his corner in that fight, and he still won. People don't even give him that credit. He became undisputed without his trainer in his corner. And all of this is just interesting. All this Kambosos, Devin Haney talk, Lomachenko, Teofimo, it just, all those guys around that division did not think of Tank Davis, who was allegedly fighting Teofimo in November, late this year. And it would be crazy to think that even with the cards, they wouldn't give it to Lomachenko unless Tank hurt Lomachenko real bad, because they just fiending. They're fiending, for a lack of a better term, a new white hope. So, I mean, when we watch that fight, we have to understand that Tank is going to have to hurt Lomachenko multiple times for the refs not to rob him. And if Lomachenko ends on his feet, they might still rob him. You know, it's interesting how it works, how this dynamic. And Lomachenko's a hell of a boxer, hellified boxer. And Tank Davis, he's not the greatest boxer, but he can hit very hard. But Tank Davis can box good enough to set up counters, to set traps, to make you lower your guard, and to take full advantage of that. So, bro, I'm just excited for the sport of boxing. And George Kambosos made it clear that's how real men do business. They don't go behind each other back. They talk face to face and make shit happen. Like, comment, subscribe. Till next time.